By the 1930s, the Meiji dream had morphed into something darker. The same drive that modernized Japan was now fueling a different kind of ambition, conquest. This is the story of how Japan, a nation once terrified of Western domination, became a dominating empire itself, and how that empire would end in fire.
In 1931, a staged explosion near the South Manchuria Railway, the Mukden incident, gave Japan a pretext to invade Manchuria. Claiming to protect their interests, the Imperial Army launched a full-scale occupation without government approval. The League of Nations condemned the aggression. Rather than comply, Japan withdrew from the League in 1933, rejecting the post-World War I global order. At home, the military increasingly dominated politics. Civilian leaders who spoke against expansion were intimidated or killed. Japan was becoming a state run by generals. In 1937, Japan escalated its conflict with China into a full-scale war following the Marco Polo Bridge incident. Cities like Beijing and Shanghai fell quickly, but Chinese resistance under Chiang Kai-shek refused to yield. Then came the horror of Nanjing. For 6 weeks, imperial troops committed unspeakable atrocities, mass executions, rape, looting. Historians estimate up to 300,000 civilians and prisoners were killed. Inside Japan, the media glorified the war. Propaganda praised sacrifice and loyalty, while censorship and secret police silenced any hint of dissent. As war dragged on, Japan's thirst for resources intensified. The US and Britain responded with embargoes, especially on oil, crippling Japan's ability to sustain its war machine. Instead of backing down, Japan signed the Tripartite Pact with Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy, deepening its alliance with authoritarian regimes. On December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. The strike damaged much of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, but failed to destroy its aircraft carriers. What Japan had hoped would secure its empire instead awakened America's fury. At first, Japan seized territory across Southeast Asia. The Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia. It seemed unstoppable. But the U.S. struck back. From Midway to Guadalcanal, the tide turned. Using a strategy called island hopping, Allied forces bypassed strongholds and pushed closer to Japan. Japanese troops fought to the death, rarely surrendering. Kamikaze pilots became symbols of desperate defiance, crashing their planes into American ships. By 1945, U.S. bombers laid waste to Tokyo and other cities. Civilians lived in ruins. The emperor's divine image no longer protected them. In July 1945, the Allies issued the Potsdam Declaration: surrender unconditionally or face prompt and utter destruction. Japan refused. On August 6th, an American B-29 dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima. Nagasaki followed. Over 200,000 lives were lost, many instantly, others slowly, from burns and radiation. For the first time, Emperor Hirohito addressed his people. On August 15th, Japan surrendered. It was the first time most Japanese had ever heard his voice. The war was over. The dream of imperial greatness lay in ruin.